last time we went to the public boat ramp, there appears to be like a great big industrial type of a yard. No buildings, no structures there. There's something, look at that. Whoa! I think we just found it. That kind of looks like a Miata, doesn't it? If he was seatbelted in there, he's still going to be there. Six months ago, we were here in Krotz Springs, Louisiana, looking for Del Lafleur, who happened to have been murdered by his nephew, Philip Lafleur. Now, in 2017, Philip is incarcerated on other charges, but he slips a note to the guard and says and confesses, "I killed my uncle, and the reason why I did it, he promised to lend me some money or give me some money, and he didn't." So Philip beats his uncle to death, straps him in the passenger seat of Del's 1991 Mazda Miata, drives it into supposedly the Atchafalaya River. The sheriff's department goes out and they try to find the car in 2017, 2018. They are unsuccessful. Now, 6 months ago, we also came to the area over in Krotz Springs, Louisiana. We searched the Atchafalaya River and we were unsuccessful in finding Del's Mazda Miata. Now, since the video has been up, we had a family member of Philip's here reached out to us and said, you know what? I think that maybe Philip did not make it all the way to the Atchafalaya River, Krotz Springs, because the two of these were over in Port Bear. Now, Port Bear is about 7 miles that direction. Krotz Springs is about another 5-7 miles that direction. So there's kind of a 15-mile difference between the two. And in my mind, and after we did the video, you know, and we reached out to a lot of you guys and you left comments, we said, maybe what if Philip stayed closer to home? Because after you ditch your car, you still have to make your way back home. Are you willing to walk 15 miles if you're over in Krotz Springs back to Port Bear? Or do you have an accomplice? Or are you maybe a little bit closer? And that's what brings us to our first of 5 locations today. The first one, this location here, the family member said this is where the family would always come, and that Philip was very aware and knowledgeable of this area, that they would come swimming here all the time. We had a local that stopped by this morning and said, you know, it's about 10 feet deep out there. Well, we have a Mazda Miata. And as you've seen in some of our previous episodes, like Jan Shoop, you know, she was only in 6.5 feet of water, and she had a small crossover car, so her car was a little bit taller than a Mazda Miata. So we're most hopeful on this one, according to the family statement, that we're gonna find Del at this location. But if we don't, we have 4 other locations after this that we're gonna be searching today. So stay tuned as you hang out with us and we go on this search for Del Lafleur.
For families who have all but given up on finding their loved ones, this team is a last hope. Civilian divers cracking cold cases for free.
Perfect. Yeah, like that 2 feet of water there. So he said near the middle is where it's gonna be 10 feet, and that's all we need. So actually we have 4 feet there, so it's dropping off. All right, 10 feet already. Yeah, so far nice and clean. Now we have something there we'll want to double check. Right here. So we'll head back over that, and that was roughly 20 feet to our left. And then I have something over there too as I was spinning, so we'll go double check that too. All right, so see that on the left? So now if we get right over the top of it, we'll be able to see the exact height. And it should be somewhere right about here. Right there. Doesn't seem to be long enough. It is, well, it's kind of weird. It's 4 feet tall. Yeah, let's hit it at a different angle. Right there on the live scope. Kind of weird. I don't think it's a vehicle. And sometimes in these places too, especially like, heavy fishing communities, they'll put like a fish structure out, so that way they can fish around there. And being that this is near a boat dock, could be that. Hard to say what that is, but so I'm looking for some length, and I'm not really getting any length. So right now, this direction, it is 4 feet wide, and it is 5 feet tall. And so then if I go this direction on it, it is still 4 feet wide. So no matter what, it's 4 feet wide. But for kicks, let me throw a magnet on this. Yeah, doesn't stick to it at all. Plus it's, like I said, it's only 4 feet in all directions. No metal coming up on it. But I wouldn't expect any metal coming up on Dell's because it's only been in for 12 years now. But let's go check this other one because it was a little bit longer. All right, should be coming up on it by this garbage can here. Right there. All right, here it is right here. So we're bouncing all over it. Yeah, nothing's sticking. Yeah, big fish. Okay, wait, nice. No, we're just pulling something up that's on it. Yeah, I'm gonna say no to this one. All right, well, that clears this area. Oh, really shallow. So shallow it's not even reading. All right, yeah, this is only 2-3 feet deep right here. 3 feet. Yeah, the car would not make it this far out. It's only 5 feet. But this one's not even reading. Oh, no, wait, we're not even reading on that one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 3 feet only. Not gonna be in here. Let me check my SAR topo for, I think the other location was just right here. Yeah, 4 feet, real shallow, you can see everything. All right, let's sneak over here and go check this area. Yeah, it's only 4 feet. So that clears this one. So that's all 3 sections here. So that's gonna take us back to the river, and I just think we just missed something last time. We gotta search heavy on that pipeline. Last time we went to the public boat ramp to the south a little bit here, but the pipeline was over here to the north. And on this side of the river, which is the west side, there appears to be like a great big industrial type of a yard. It's completely vacant, no buildings, no structures there, but it has what appears to be like, you know, like a river makeshift access into the water there. So we're gonna go see if that's open and public. If it is, then we'll be able to park and put the boat in where most of our focus is going to be on that pipeline today. If not, then what has to happen is we'll have to come down to the public boat ramp, and then Cade and I will jet up there and go check that out. Yeah, it's closed. You can take a look.
There's a fireman behind us.
There's a what?
There's a fireman behind us.
It looks like he knows who we are. Hey, what's going on?
Man.
Yeah?
I was going to stop at the store and I seen the truck pass. I said, I know that ain't no way that's him.
Yeah?
You looking for a place to launch?
Well, I know that we got the boat launch down below, but on the news it looked like it was a blue pipeline. Is there a blue pipeline somewhere versus a white pipeline, or did this one used to be blue?
They got the High Line. I don't know if it used to be blue, but they have the High Line down the river.
Well, here, let me pull up like the news story on it and tell me if you recognize this location.
Accurate homicide Landry Parish cold murder case has been solved after 6 years. Authorities say the suspect came forward and confessed to the crime. And now officials are searching for the victim's body in the Atchafalaya Basin.
So that's that bridge down there, right?
Yeah.
Now, is this here? Where's that?
That's right up here. See where this overcross comes over the levee?
Okay.
It's just past that. She was standing on that. See where the power lines come across?
Okay.
It's the same area.
So we're at the right spot then? Okay. Who owns this?
The gentleman who owns this dirt company over here.
Okay.
This is where the barges offload their stuff.
Right.
They just store it over here and then they come get it and bring it. I actually know the operator for the equipment over here.
Okay, yeah, if we can put in here, I'd much rather stage everything right here.
Question for you. The gate over here. Is there any way we can get it open? You wouldn't mind come open it for me? I sure appreciate that. All right.
Sweet. I love small towns. People that know people that know people. I think that, you know, if we really feel like this is the spot, we're going to do some heavy searching on it today and see if we can find them. How are you?
I'm Pete. I'm
Pete? Pleasure to meet you. I'm Jared. Back in 2011, would this gate be open most of the time? Do you know?
No, 2011. This has been always with the shell yard, and they usually lock it up on the weekend.
Right.
When they're not using it.
But, like I said, talk to Travis. Most of the time he tells me, you know, gate's open. Especially during the week, they don't lock it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a weekday or weekend when he went missing. This him?
Yeah.
Sweet.
We had a guy last year with a boat hooked to a Jeep, and he tried to run it off. Had all four windows down on the Jeep, tried to sink it.
At this location?
Yes, right there.
Huh.
He went down, he let it go, and it hung up. To the right, they got some rocks that come way out.
Right.
It's shallow all the way to this side. It's real shallow, you gotta go out.
Did he survive or he's gone?
No, he tried to insurance claim that.
Oh, really? That's what it was?
Yeah, with nobody in there.
Huh.
Got some dumb people.
Right.
But he was across the river.
Huh.
Over here and dumped that damn thing and tried to run back home like it wasn't nothing.
Right.
They got him though.
Yeah, insurance fraud or stolen. We find a lot of them.
The number for the station up here.
Yeah.
If y'all need anything, y'all call us.
Perfect.
Like I say, we're 2 or 3 minutes down the road.
Yeah, we'll do
The
it.
gate unlocked, I'll come back this evening and lock it up.
Perfect. Yeah, that or, I mean, we can lock it.
Yeah, it ain't no big
I know.
deal.
Okay, yeah, we should know 2-3 hours if anything's in here. Appreciate it. What's your name?
Travis.
Travis. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
You too, bud.
Yep. So the thing is, you know, with the Jeep, we know that, you know, like they all said, normally weekdays, the gate's open. Happen on a Wednesday.
See where my truck is? There's a gravel road. It goes all the way under the pipeline.
Uh-huh.
And there were some little spots where you could come back here, so he could have dropped it at one of those too.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, because, you know, like I said, after we were searching over here, I'm like, there's no way he's getting a car in on that
he
side.
Get on the levee, but he wouldn't have made it to the water with it.
Right.
So, and especially this 2015 time frame,
Uh-huh.
they had clear cut a lot of that.
So was
All that's starting to grow back now. It was
Okay.
a lot more,
So it wasn't even clear in 2011 then?
No.
Okay.
not like it is now.
Okay. Yeah, this side just makes a lot more sense. All right, well, yeah, if he's in here, if they use this one, he's gonna be no more than where that white water is out there. And so we'll search this really heavy here. See, look at this. So this is that concrete that I was telling you about. And so it's like a real weird reading, because then you end up with like piles of it like this, which then starts to give you readings of like something sticking up. It becomes a lot harder to read, and especially when it starts dropping off. And then underneath, you have the old pipeline actually goes underneath the pipeline that's overhead now too. So you'll see that on sonar. All right, 2 feet deep in the cove. So that's good, so we don't have to worry about the cove here. So let's... Now, scanning in this is going to be a better scan coming upriver than it is downriver, because downriver, we're probably going to pick up too much speed. But for kicks, we're gonna go up here and scan up past this, and then we'll scan downriver, and then we'll come in and out with it. And in and out is gonna be a lot more difficult though, because we don't wanna, in a river, it's gonna push us like this, and it's gonna be a weird scan. So really it's these up scans is what we're gonna have any chance of finding. See, look at that, what's that? Right there. We'll wanna double check that. Now remember, they bring the barges in here also. So think about Nadine Moses, where they brought the barges in and smashed the vehicle. We could have the same scenario with, you know, his Miata is already small, but we could have the same type of a scenario to where it smashed even flatter. Let's see, let's go look at this right there. See that? Doesn't look like the rest of what we have down here. Over about 30 feet. There's the pipeline. See, that's what I would expect, is for it to be hung up on the pipeline. And look right there. See that? Is that a car hung up on the pipeline right there? Yeah, the scale is right. Yep, smacked right against the pipeline. And there's 2 pipelines down here, so it's not the first pipeline, it's the second pipeline. I don't want to shoot up and dive until we clear everything though, so let's keep working our way out and scanning. See how my scan coming upstream is so much cleaner also? So I definitely want to keep scanning to rule anything else out that we might need to dive on. Yeah, a magnetometer won't work because you got a big steel pipe, so won't do us a bit of good. Yeah, see, that's a nice clean image of the pipeline there. So if we can go upstream, keep making our way over, and if we can get a good clean read like that on the car, then I'll feel confident about it. So we'll just keep moving over 15 or 20 feet at a time, and we'll just keep working it into shore. Yeah, I'm getting nice readings now. I'm getting a hang of how to read this river right here. Right there. That kind of looks like a car right there. Right there, pushed up against it and in it. See how it's like underneath of it there? Right there. It looks like a car to me. So it's actually not up against the pipe, it's just in front of it about a little ways. But our other image, it looked like it was underneath of it, so that's what I'm confused at, Cade. All right, 3-4 more passes, then we'll commit. "90 feet deep here." See, look at that. Again, when you look at that, look. It's right up against the pipeline right there. And that is, look, this the width of a car. I mean, I almost feel like that's it. Because look at how much is right up against the pipe there. So let's suit up, let's go dive that one, because, I mean, look at that right there. I mean, what is that? Nothing but concrete. So it's this concrete that goes up into it, where the pipe just goes and everything meets right there at the ground. That's why we saw what we saw. So no vehicle. And then the pipe, I actually ended up losing the pipe because then it went down underneath all that concrete. I'm gonna take that other one and follow it down as well, just to make sure that nothing against that one. And then I want to search this one again, really extending out. If not, then we'll jump back in the boat. We'll go check the other side and scan this a little bit more here also. Oh, nothing. I followed it down, ran into the way that we saw it, and how it started going up and meeting, and how it all came together. I then checked the other side. I bounced off of it. I searched these. I mean, we didn't see anything off of it, but I searched that anyway. Searched the other one. Gonna get it back in the boat. If it's going to sink right away, it's going to be up there a lot further. It's not going to make its way this far down, in my opinion, especially with these pipes here. And you have a hole in there that is almost 100 feet deep. And once you sink down there, it's not going to push back up. So then are we left with is it in this hole? And then did the sand come, push, and it end up burying it, 95, 97 feet deep. But we had one viewer also that, mentioned that they wanted us to double check that over there. I reviewed the footage that we had on it. I didn't see anything on the footage, but again, just since we're here, we want to double check anything and everything. Anyway, let me dress down and then I'll throw you in the boat with me and let's go do some scanning. So I'm going to go with the theory of car comes out, goes into this hole. So let's really search this hole good. And you'll see it's going to get down to 97 feet. So now that we're casting 130 feet left and 130 right. Have to think about our object now is going to be half the size of what we were expecting before. So now, instead of filling an entire grid, it's going to fill about a third of a grid for the length of it. We're going to take you over that object that I was diving on. So see right here? That's what I was really interested in. But what it is it's where the pipeline goes underneath of it. Yeah, I just don't think the Miata is gonna float this far down. I think what we'll do is we'll run it further down and then we'll scan this other side also. And then we're almost to the pipeline, so another 20 feet. You see the pipeline start to pop up. So there's the pipeline on the right, and then it's buried. So that's at 23 feet, and I made it down to 27 feet where that big mess is at. So I would say between here and the ramp is where the car is going to be. There's something. Look at that. Whoa! I think we just found it. Look at that. Plain as day, right there. Even you saw that. I told you, when you see a car, you know a car, don't you? Right there. All right, so let's identify that. So let's scan at a few different angles and see if we can get like a solid shape on it. And then we'll sit over it with live as well. So right there's the car. That kind of looks like a Miata, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks like the hood is up on the car. I don't know, I'm actually kind of not convinced it's a Miata. So the hood is up on it. And if it's a convertible, I would not expect after 11 years for that rag top to still be in one piece, in my opinion. All right, well, let's throw them back on there. And then we'll go from there. There it is, right here. Yeah, see it? Drop it on, right there. All right, solid lock. So let me have, you got the buoy? So now, while we're here, so let's see if we can identify, is that a Miata? Yeah, there's the front of it at the 2 to 4 foot mark. Yep, and then it looks like the top of it's gone. Yep, I would say that we have found Dale. Now, just to be sure, let's make sure we finish running a little bit further down, make sure we don't have any other cars in here, since we're in the water right now. Look! This is, oh my God! What kind of fish is that? Is that a salmon? What kind of fish is that? Yeah, there he is. What are you doing, buddy? Yeah, there he goes. You know what that is? That's a sign that says, hey, you found me, I'm coming home. Look at that. Here, the window's up.
You have a stay in the car? No license plate at the front. Over there on the passenger side. Okay, passenger window is open. Alright, we've got the license plate in hand. There's the license plate. Let me see if I can punch it. Alright, so we've got the license plate in hand.
What was the license plate number? This is a VOF 572.
What's the car?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 300. What is it, 300? Yeah, it's a four. Yeah, this is a four-door. Window is down on the passenger side. They are up on the other three. I still have some air. I'm gonna go see if I can clear it some more. Well, I was able to break windows, reach into all four seats as far as I could. I wasn't able to identify anybody in there, and unfortunately, it was not the car we're looking for. So we still have some daylight, another hour or two left. So we are going to undress, get back in the boat. I didn't expect to find a car here, so we're gonna go see if we can find Dell in his car.
Expired in 18
Or 15.
It's supposed to be 15. There's 8 on top of it.
All right, I'm gonna dress down and let me know if you come up with anything on that one.
Sure. PD's on the way.
So yeah, that vehicle, it comes back to, that plate comes back to a Chrysler 300.
So, no name on it because it's through a leasing company. So
Yeah, they don't have the driver's name on it, but it's come back to the leasing company.
man, say
No name on it, but it comes back to the dealership.
it's registered through the leasing company or whoever finance company, whoever it is. But it is come back to the Black Cross 300. I'm gonna give it to him, let him bag it for evidence, and see if he can't find anything else out on it for me.
Okay.
So.
Perfect. Yeah, so I ended up popping the windows to identify if anybody was inside. The passenger front was already down. And then I was able to go through the other windows, and as far as I could reach in, there was nobody in there. All right, Laura, we're gonna head back out. I'm gonna finish scanning down on the bridge. I'm gonna scan that other side, then I'll focus more on this hole again too, so.
Well, y'all need anything, we'll be around.
Appreciate it, thank you. But I've been over this area a dozen times today already though.
And that's the 300 as well.
Yep, that's the 300 there. Plain as day, huh? Now, right down here is where the fish jumped in our boat. So, is the fish a sign that we need to focus on something over here? that we ignored the sign and we focused on that instead. Like, let's go back to that on the left for a minute. I'll show you what I want to go check. This right here. Because it's out about 60 feet from where we were at. Yeah, it's nothing there. Got all those fish right there. You can jump up in the boat and grab you. God, those things are huge there, huh? So see them on live, and now look at your down imaging of them that we just went over. See, this is the type of bottom where you should never miss anything. Real easy to read when it's smooth like that. Even at 35 feet here, it's still a nice scan. Look at that. See that right there? No, that's not a car. Get your hopes up. So we'll do this one, and then we'll go over the other side, down and up. Call it good. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is if he pushes it off and we just happen to have like a back eddy over there where the trailer is at, we need to search more right above that area where we're parked. Other than that, I don't know where else to search unless he says, Jared, this is where I put Dell. See that right there? I'll double check that. Nothing popping up on down or side. Yeah, I just don't see anything. All right, well, we're gonna call it good. We did our best. I feel kind of disappointed and defeated. I was hopeful twice today. And unfortunately, I mean, if Philip said that he put Dell in here, the only thing I can think of is that Dell ended up in that 95, 97 foot hole, and that sand has covered the car over time. The Chrysler, you know, I mean, I can absolutely see how it made its way all the way down the river, being the larger air compartment for the car. But that Miata, I just don't see it floating for any more than 60 seconds and going off in here. So did Philip really put Dell in the river here? Right now, I don't think so. Could he be closer to home? I mean, we searched some, those places over there, the spillway in the bayou this morning. But if you happen to know anything about this, down below in the description is an email, support@adventurewithpurpose.com. Please get a hold of us. Let's bring Dell home for his family and see if we can solve this one for the community.